Hey everybody, we're back and we're on day 61. We are getting there and we are talking about don't look back. Don't look back. So hard, right? To not go back to the past, to not go back to past seasons, to not look at past things that God is like, I'm not doing that anymore. And so if we really want to mature and go forward, we have to learn to not look back, especially when God is saying, don't look back, I'm not there anymore. And we have to look at the example of Lot's wife. So let's look at our nugget for today. Don't let yesterday define your tomorrow. So many times, and I have done this in my life, and I know many people that have done this, we're stuck in the past. We're stuck in what has happened to us, and we're losing the present because we're living in the past. We can't even see tomorrow. Not a good place to be at, and we don't want to do that. That's like allowing the enemy to come and rob our time. He's stealing the present by getting you trapped in your past. It's like you're living in the present, but everything about you is still tracking a season ago, 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago from your childhood. And we have to be diligent about getting out of that and moving forward. God has great plans for you. He has great plans for you, and our plans are in the future. Our plans are in the now. There's something He wants to do right now in your life. There's something that He wants to do in your life today. There's something that He's orchestrating and setting up for tomorrow, for your future, for 5 years, for 10 years from now, in ministry, in your family, generations, but they don't come from our past. They come with walking into our future. Now is the time to press like never before. Today's word is press. We're pressing on, guys. We're pressing on. We're pressing forward. We're moving ahead. I remember when I was a baby Christian, I had a lot of hurt and pain from my childhood. I had a lot of damage from past relationships when I didn't know the Lord, and I allowed myself to get entangled in very unhealthy relationships, and I was stuck in my past. I was stuck in my feelings. And I would listen to these sermons and these teachers, and they would always sit and tell me, just move forward, get out of the past, let it go. It was the biggest thing I always hear. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And I remember one time I was so frustrated. I think I was in my early 20s, and I was crying. I was watching a sermon and I was crying because I said to the Lord as I was watching it, and I closed my eyes and I just started crying, and I'm like, God, I want to let it go, but nobody will teach me how. And that was the cry of my heart. I wanted to let the past go, but I didn't know how to let it go. And the Lord started teaching me to take thoughts captive and not meditate on them anymore. And that's how He started breaking the things from my past. It's like you meditate on it. It's like a broken tape recorder in your mind over and over again. That's all you think about. How do you do it? You grab that thought, you pull it down, you take it captive, you make it obedient to Christ, and you replace it with the truth in the future. And that's how you start to break that cycle. That's how He did it for me. There are greater things on the other side, so keep going. Fix your eyes on what's in front of you. Lot's wife wasn't supposed to look back, and neither are we. She died looking back because she couldn't get out of the past. She was so attached to the things that had already passed that she didn't want to live for the future anymore. Yeah, we're going to go through some things. We're not exempt from trials and tribulations, but we don't lock into the past. We let God process it in us, through us, out of us. I've asked God to heal memories, and He has. I've asked God to do a new work in my heart, and He has. I've had Him help me break the patterns in my mind, and He has, by meditating and renewing the mind. And I don't live in the past anymore. Those seasons and those chapters are closed, and I'm moving forward because He has so much more for me, and He has so much more for you. Philippians 3:13 through 14. Brothers and sisters, I do not consider yet to have taken hold of it, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. I push, I strain in Christ Jesus to go forward, to have all that He has for me. So push, press today. Keep going. You may have a bad day. You may backtrack a little bit, but that doesn't mean give up. You keep going until you break through, because your present and your future is so worth it. Have a great day.